Well, gentlemen, a lot of people, when they think of, players coming out of the NFL, they probably think of, CTE and physical limitations and problems that are facing, players. And just the reason we're talking with these guys today, and we'll introduce them in a minute, something that affects all men, regardless, their families and all that stuff. So it's the Urology Care Foundation is teaming up with the NFL to promote the Know Your Stats campaign. And joining us to share more, NFL Hall of Famer and prostate cancer survivor Michael Haynes with prostate cancer specialist Brian McNeil. So, gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Let's get started. Guys, so first off, I want to talk with Dr. McNeil. How is prostate cancer diagnosed?
So prostate cancer is diagnosed by prostate biopsy, but there are a few things that take place before we decide to do a biopsy. A guy should be screened with a digital rectal examination, as well as a blood test for the PSA level. Depending upon the results of these two tests, we will recommend a prostate biopsy. And just take home point for the audience, prostate biopsy is the only way to diagnose prostate cancer. A digital rectal examination or the PSA level alone is not enough to make a diagnosis.
Okay, and for Michael, I mean, you were diagnosed with prostate cancer at an event at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Can you tell us about your journey since that diagnosis?
First, I want to be clear. I wasn't diagnosed at that event.
Gotcha.
That's where the screening takes place, and so that's where I got educated, and that's where
okay.
I heard for the first time these statistics of how many men would get this disease, and so my awareness had been raised. And when I got back home, I called my primary care doctor and shared with him about this screening I had just attended, gave him the information he needed, and then with that information, he recognized that I needed a biopsy, and so that's when I found out I had the cancer. So that's where it started for me, and so my journey since then, the urology care folks asked me would I consider being a spokesperson for the campaign, and I said yes, because I felt like I'm a typical guy. I didn't know anything about this disease. I didn't even know where the prostate was or what the prostate did. And I knew that more men were going to get prostate cancer than women are going to get breast cancer. Every man knows about breast cancer, what a symptom of breast cancer is, but not every man knows where the prostate is or what the prostate does or a symptom of prostate cancer. So we want to try and change that. And so I thought with the help of the National Football League, especially with all these great Hall of Famers, that I could call on for their help, that we could make a dent, and we have. We've been making a lot of progress and towards research. Definitely got to find some new way to do that biopsy. That's a test that we need to change. But it's been a work of love, and I think we're making a big difference in a lot of people's lives.
And you think being a very physical, very active person, maybe it matters, maybe it doesn't, but who's most at risk for getting prostate cancer?
So men, African American men, and men with a strong family history are at increased risk of developing prostate cancer. But I don't want to discount the risk to the average guy. Men, there's about a 1 in 7 chance of being diagnosed with prostate cancer. If you're African American, that risk becomes 1 in 5. And if you have a strong family history of it, the risk is 1 in 3. So we're all at risk, and prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in men.
Is there a time that's best for people to get screened for this?
So again, it depends on which group you're a part of. The average guy, someone who's African American, or someone with a strong family history. For the average guy, we recommend you have a conversation with your doctor about screening if you're between the ages of 55 and 69. If you're in a higher risk group, you want to consider screening earlier on, perhaps at age 50 or even 45.
So, question for Michael, what do you want other men to know? I mean, you've been on this trail for a while now. What do you want other men to know about prostate cancer?
Don't find out the hard way and when it's too late. This is a cancer that if you could say every man must have a cancer, this is the one you would pick, because this one is treatable. It's almost 99.9% chance you're going to be fine if caught early, and so we don't want men to to have to deal with that, with a bad situation. So know your own personal risk, know your family history, have the conversations with your doctors. During September, I like to encourage other survivors to at least talk to one other man and share their experience and try and encourage one other guy to get educated.
Yeah, Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. And one last question, Michael, I get a little football question in for you. So I had a dream the Patriots and the Raiders were playing in the AFC Championship game. What would either of those teams reach the Super Bowl this year, and do the Packers have a chance?
I actually think the Packers have a chance, and I think the Patriots and the Raiders, one of those two teams, has a chance. And I've actually said I would not at all be surprised if the Raiders played the Patriots in the AFC Championship, but I also recognize that I'm putting pressure on those two teams, and I want to do what I can to reduce that, because I have this philosophy that we all fail when we're feeling pressure. So the secret is not feeling the pressure if you want to be successful. So you got to figure a way to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your time, guys, and good luck with your journeys, and thanks for taking the moment to talk with us today.
Thanks for giving us the opportunity to talk about it.
And that was Michael Haynes and Dr. Brian McNeil. We'll have more sports news after this.